Okay, now I'm ready for my final pull through. It's nice and even all the way around, and it looks pretty, and I want to firm it up more. You can tell how much you should do it by how much you can move these things side and side. You can leave it that way if you want, but I like it a little bit more firm. It feels more like a solid structure. But if you like it that way, there's no reason in the world why you can just leave it that way. But here we go, last pass. Pull about the same amount. Let me see if you're seeing this okay. No, you're not. Let me focus in here. I'm trying to do this by myself here. So I'd hold it up about there. Yeah, I guess that's right. Make sure I got it right there. So pull it through about that amount. Let me see if that shows up. Yep. And then just start passing through. And on this pass, you firm it up good. I never say you yank on it, but you really pull it tight. Nice little tug, not a jerk. And you notice you don't see the ball bearing in there at all, which is a good thing. We covered it up well. Now we got those four done. Now we're going to get these four. Excuse me, those four. So I'll pull it around. Wait a minute, where am I at here? And again, I'll pull that firm. When we start doing these four, well, hopefully you can see this well. This time I won't pull this real firm because it pulls these lines together too much. So then I'll just keep going around. I'm going to zoom out just a hair. I'm afraid if I don't hold it just right, you might not be able to see it as well. There we go. Okay, so pull her through. You make that one firm. Pull this through. Just keep going around. Now we're in our last trip. Pulling this. Pull that firm though. Now we're headed this way. Do not pull that super firm, because again you'll tighten these up too much. You want them tight, but just don't pull it as tight as the rest of them were. This one you can. You can see we're still gaining quite a bit of tightness by the larger loop as we go through all this. Monkey fists are fun because you can make them in all different sizes. You can do multicolored ones. You can do your team colors, put them on your keychain, etc. And they're easy to grab a hold of. I made one for a fireman once, and he said, I want to make it so I can grab it when I have my gloves on. And so they're pretty versatile. So there it is. It looks really nice and even and everything. Now this is the point where you have to decide what in the world you're going to do with the rest of it. How are you going to make a loop? You can even cut off one of these in and burnish it, or even push it in and then pull this apart a little bit melt it in there and hide it completely. But I like to do the snake weave, and I won't go through that because this tutorial is about making the monkey fist. But after you get this done, you still need to come up with a way of making your loop here, and you can do it in all forms. You can even, if you want to, tie it right directly onto your knife, so you can take and loop it through and tie it, or you can do it like I'm going to do. I'll show you the end product here after I finish up to a certain point in making my loop. I can also make this style where you cut off one end and pull it through a little bit and hide it, then take the other end and put it through so it looks like this right here, and your loop just goes around and back inside. It makes kind of a neat looking loop that way, just a plain old loop, but it looks pretty cool. It's like it disappearing into nowhere. So anyway, I'll show you what the finished product is, but that's how you do the monkey fist with the coat hanger wire. And dimensions wise on this, it's about 1 inch across. I used about a 3/4 inch bearing, and this distance here is about 3.5 or so. And you're going to have to experiment with that, but make it in this shape, of course, where you have the 2 prongs. And what I do, I start with the prong, come around, come back up to the end, make a loop, make it nice and even if I can, maybe put it in a vise, and then go back down and cut it off. And so you have your, I'm not sure what you call it, maybe I call it a frog, because it kind of looks like the frog legs down here and the head up here. But this is the one I use for the real small bearings. Get it turned the right way. It's not real proportional and nice looking. This one I can use for the larger bearings as well. See, the inch one fits in there just really nicely. If you make these too big, it's no biggie. It's just that you have to do more tightening when you slide this off. So when you get up to this size, and unfortunately I have some outside and I forgot to bring them in, but this will make a pretty large one. You could use this big 1.5 inch for that at least, or bigger. And like I said, you don't have to use bearings. If you want it to be light, like this one is a piece of wood. I've used even cork before. I've used fishing bobbers, and they've actually floated if you do it with light enough line. This is 550 paracord. I wouldn't take the core out. I keep the core in, but you don't have to use 550. You can use 2mm or 1.5mm vest cord, or of course you can make it bigger. The bigger you make it, the bigger the bearing's going to be, or the ball inside. So there's no limit to this, and it's a lot of fun.